Well, hi guys, my name is Paul Dennis, and welcome to Critical Insights. I wanted to pick a rather unique space out here. This happens to be Conneaut, Ohio. What they do is they do a D-Day reenactment every single year in August, usually like Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And just give you a quick shot at what you're looking at. You're actually taking a look at a German encampment here. And so what they do is every single day they go through the process of actually attacking the Atlantic Wall that you see right here. You're sitting at and looking at Normandy Beach. And what they do is they actually have Higgins boats that they come in through the beach and actually attack the German soldiers sitting on the Atlantic Wall. It's a really, really interesting experience. So if you ever have an opportunity to come out here, it is something to be seen. This is an awesome place to start talking about the idea of resiliency, availability, durability, and the problems that we have around the IT infrastructure. So with Critical Insights, we talk about the complex things or the technology in a very conversational way. So in this particular case, what I wanted to do is to talk a little bit about CrowdStrike again, kind of what we were dealing with. This was a wonderful experience if you think about it. It really wasn't something that was a major issue. It was a pain in the butt because you had to go and visit every single server that had the problem. If you think about the plan of what CrowdStrike wanted to do, is they wanted to create an architecture that said, let's go ahead and create something that we want to make sure that if there's a new virus that comes out, we're immediately aware. So we're going to deploy that solution out there. And unfortunately, CrowdStrike made a mistake. They ended up running a configuration. The problem was they're expecting 20 different parameters, different settings, and it delivered 21. It was just like confused. And Windows did what it needed to do. It just shut itself down and kind of moved on. There was nothing to worry about on the data, but it was a really interesting point because it gives us an idea to talk about what do we do to protect ourselves if something like this occurs again. From the public view, it was great because it gives you the people to think about it. How do we deal with this problem and how do we solve that particular problem? In this case, it was a configuration issue. So if you concentrate your data into two different parts, one is the data itself, where the data sits. This is your spreadsheets and your customer records and all the other things. And then you have the servers. The problem was dealing with the servers that we were dealing with is when the configuration caused that server to fail. If the data was sitting on that server, the data went down as well. Fortunately, it wasn't a virus. It wasn't anything like that. So what happened was you had to go to each server, you had to turn it off, and you had to remove a file, that configuration file that was a problem. And then you went ahead and turned it back on, and now you had to gain access to the data. So one of the first things we can do is talk about taking your data and put it someplace else. And if you put it in an infrastructure that is made for data, it makes sense. You can create a picture of it, what they call a snapshot. You can take that data and make copies of it. They call that replication. And so to separate those two things is actually a very good thing as it relates to the process, as you relate to determine how you're going to create protection against your environment. And is that data up in the cloud? Is the data sitting here on-prem? This is going to be the topic we're going to be talking about next week. It's called RTO and RPO, which is recovery time and recovery points. And I'll tell you why that's important, because sometimes the cloud makes sense. Sometimes on-prem makes sense. But you have to take a look at how do you protect yourself across those two different architectures, whether it's storage or whether it's data. So again, welcome to Conneaut, Ohio. Thanks for coming to Critical Insights. And I'm going to give you a couple seconds to take a look around and just enjoy the scenery. Take care, guys.